Ever feel like you've achieved a ton, but you just can't switch off? If that's you, you're definitely not alone. And the reason, well, it's probably not what you think. See, it's not a discipline problem. It goes way deeper than that. So let's get into this weird paradox. Why does success so often feel like this trap, this constant feeling of restlessness? And this quote, it just nails it. For people who are always pushing, always achieving, the struggle to relax, it's not about willpower. Not at all. It's actually a conditioned biological response. Your nervous system has literally been trained to see any kind of downtime as a threat.
So let's talk about the problem with quiet. It really boils down to this powerful, learned connection in our brains. If you're a super responsible person, your brain starts to think that calm equals risk. Seriously. Those internal alarm bells just start blaring like, whoa, hold on. If I'm this relaxed, I must be dropping the ball on something important.
And let's get really clear on what we mean by not being able to relax. This isn't just about having a packed schedule. No, this is about something else entirely. It's when the rest you think you're getting isn't actually restorative. It doesn't recharge you. It's like plugging in your phone, seeing the little lightning bolt, but the battery percentage just doesn't go up.
Okay, so this inability to relax, this restlessness, it's not just one single feeling. It actually shows up in three pretty distinct ways. And once you can name them, it gives you a much better handle on what's actually going on inside your own head.
All right, the three types. First up, you've got rest with guilt. You know this one. It's that nagging voice that says you haven't earned this break and your brain just keeps on working. Then there's rest with restlessness. This one's physical. You feel that tension, that impatience. Maybe your jaw is clenched or your leg is bouncing. And number three, rest that turns into stimulation. This is when you just can't handle a quiet moment. It's like you're allergic to it, and you immediately reach for your phone or some other distraction for a quick dopamine hit.
Now, these feelings, they're not random. They are usually part of what we call the high performers cycle. It's this feedback loop that a lot of successful people get trapped in. And from the outside, it looks like peak performance, right? But what's really happening under the surface is that you're literally training your brain to be afraid of stopping.
So you might be asking, how does this whole cycle even start? Good question. Let's dig in and trace it right back to the beginning.
Okay, here's how it works. Step 1, it usually starts with having really high standards for yourself. Step 2, that leads to needing a high degree of control, which naturally leads to step 3, you get those external wins we're all after, the promotion, the praise, hitting the big goals. But here's the catch. Step 4, all that striving keeps your nervous system constantly on. And because of that, step 5, rest starts to feel unsafe, unproductive. So what do? Step 6, we fill those quiet moments with micro work or just mindless scrolling. And this is the really dangerous part. The cycle becomes truly toxic when those external rewards start to feel more important than your own internal need to just recover.
All right, let's peel back another layer of the onion here. We're going to look at the 4 core reasons why your brain actually fights back against the idea of resting.
Reason number 1 is a big one. Rest can feel like a full-blown identity threat. Think about it. For so many of us, our self-worth is totally wrapped up in what we produce, in our output. So when that's the case, taking a break isn't just downtime anymore. It feels like a direct attack on who we are. That little voice in your head pipes up, hey, if I'm not achieving something right now, who even am I?
Reason number 2 is all about your nervous system. It actually learns that calm is unsafe. See, when you're in a high-stress, high-alert state for a long time, your body does something kind of amazing, but also kind of problematic. It adapts. It literally recalibrates what normal feels like. So all of a sudden, being calm feels weird, unsettling even. And it's so important to get this. This isn't some personal failing on your part. It's a straight-up biological adaptation.
And the physical price you pay for this is, well, it's real. Your sleep quality just tanks, muscle tension becomes your new best friend, you're living in a state of hypervigilance, always scanning for the next problem, and your actual capacity to recover, it's basically shot.
Okay, reason number 3. This one's about brain chemistry. The brain gets reinforced by this urgency plus reward loop. Success is basically this powerful cocktail, right? You've got urgent tasks, and then you get these really satisfying rewards. You solve a tough problem, you get that praise, you see that little notification pop up. And when those rewards are unpredictable, kind of like a slot machine, it creates this powerful, almost addictive urge to just keep checking, keep pushing, keep engaging.
And that brings us to the 4th and final piece of this puzzle. And it's something people don't talk about enough. High performance without downshifting equals chronic activation. Basically, relaxation is a skill. It's a muscle. And if you don't use it, it gets weak. So if your life is just a constant series of being on, your body literally forgets how to find the off switch. You just get stuck in the state of chronic activation.
And this pattern, it leads to very real physical symptoms. Things like insomnia, headaches, digestive issues. Just picture a super-driven founder or a really dedicated manager. They're always telling themselves, okay, I'll relax after this big project is done. But then the project ends, and the time to rest finally comes, but they're just buzzing with this anxious energy. They can't sit still. So what do? They scroll. They start planning the next thing. They check their emails just one more time. And slowly but surely, their bodies start sending out these distress signals, the insomnia, the headaches, the stomach problems. It's such a powerful reminder that our bodies often know we need a break way, way before our minds are ready to admit it.
Okay, so now that we've really unpacked the why behind this, let's switch gears. Let's get practical. It's time to do a little self-audit to help you find your own personal blockers to relaxation.
So I want you to take a second and actually think about this for yourself. We're looking at 3 categories here. First, your body signals. What are, say, 3 physical signs your body gives you when you're trying and failing to relax? Is it a clenched jaw? That tightness in your chest? Okay, next category, behaviors. What are your 3 go-to moves to avoid actually resting? Is it endless scrolling? Is it deciding to tackle just one more thing on the to-do list? And finally, thoughts. What are 3 thoughts that always seem to pop up? Things like, I'm just wasting time, or I'm falling behind. And hey, just remember, whatever you come up with, these aren't judgments. They're just clues. Really valuable clues. And all of this really brings us to the biggest takeaway. Sustainable success isn't just about pushing harder. It's about rhythm plus recovery. See, success itself isn't the enemy. The problem is when our drive to achieve completely steamrolls our fundamental need to recover. The path to lasting success, the kind that doesn't burn you out, it's not paved with just relentless, brutal intensity. It's built on a smart, sustainable rhythm of both effort and rest. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really chew on. When you look at your own life, is your success built on intensity or is it built on rhythm? Is it fueled by this frantic, unsustainable push, or is it supported by a healthy, sustainable cycle of work and recovery? Because answering that question, really honestly, might just be the most important first step you can take towards a life that's just as successful, but a whole lot less exhausting.